Hello, folks, and welcome back to Master of Orion Impossible Bromance with the 5X Ultimate Balance mod. I am Mal, and I'm here again with my buddy Sabouts. Hello, my friend.
Hello, Mal. It is good to be back.
Okay, so when we left off, I was gonna risk taking us to war by going in forward, settling those ocean planets in Raiden, which I'm gonna do. And you were what? What were you doing with the squid guys? What were you doing?
Well, as I go here, and I want to update my graphics real quick. What I was doing actually was I was kind of scouting out their area. I've actually got scouts moving. I've got 2 scouts now moving through the area. I'm trying to get a feel for where their borders are. I think that's going to be probably one of the more important things, is to feel out their borders. That's going to give me a good idea of where I can kind of move about and where I can expect to be attacked. If I do get attacked, I would imagine if I get attacked, it's going to be coming from Fovea there. So,
yeah.
Because it looks like they've got Misha, Nortes. I see kind of an area where they don't have anything set up. I'm also looking maybe on where I might want to expand too.
Is there anything decent?
Well,
you know what you could do? You could take or you could take Wilder. Because there's a toxic world there, okay? But
I don't even think I see Wilder.
You have a scout, I think, headed there.
Okay,
it's galactic south of Hercus.
Okay, yeah, I have a scout on its way there now.
There is a toxic. Hold on, there's 3 planets there. One is large radiated ridge.
Did you already next turn?
I didn't, but I can.
Oh, okay. No, you're good. I just wasn't sure.
But there's a toxic medium, but it's rich and it has red fungus. So it does have +2 food. So even though it's toxic, it is rich. So you'd be able to build there quickly. And you already have hydroponic farms, right?
I do, yep.
Well, so you could take Wilder. It would be a decent planet, and then it would give you a strategic point to militarize. Because, you know, that's all connected up. Like Wilder and then Opus, those two systems, basically if they were locked off, then that whole empire's trapped.
Okay, so yeah, that's a good idea. I like the way you're thinking.
New ship design discovered. Really? What did I just get? Did I just finish? Oh, destroyer tech. Okay. I was like, what?
Yes.
What did I just get? Destroyers. Okay.
I've got destroyer tech too. I just haven't built one yet, but I'd really like to get one out there.
I'm going to design one real quick, so it's going to take me just a second before I go to the next turn. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Increase the defenses a little bit. I thought we had Merculite. We don't have Merculite missiles yet, huh?
No, we do not.
Okay.
Molecular manipulation. That's what we need. That also gives us the atmosphere renewer, which we're probably going to want to go for.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, truth. Let's see. Well, we only have electronic computer for weapon accuracy, which pretty much sucks. I'm just gonna load up on missile tech, because it's usually pretty good in the early game, and a bunch of point defense.
So you think we need the advanced electronic computer?
It wouldn't hurt, but what I'm saying is that, like, neutron blasters, I think a lot of people in the early game will go for that, but I don't think it's really worth it. So I'm just gonna do a bunch of laser point defense with missiles, which gives this destroyer 16 attack and 47 defense. That's not too bad. That is not too shabby.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. And since we don't have tactical combat because we're playing in multiplayer, we might as well. Something else you might want to look at, your frigates by default, I think have augmented engine special on them. I'm going to remove them from my frigates because I want the space for more weapons. And if you have a special like that on it, it changes your, not only does it change your combat speed, it changes your like strategic map speed, and you're always going to move at the speed of the slowest ship. So even if you had faster frigates and then you put a destroyer with it that doesn't have that, you're going to travel at the destroyer speed.
Okay.
So just a little.
Nope, that's good to know.
Just a little tip for anybody watching there. Okay, let me get rid of that. I'm almost done.
No, you're good. I'm going through and messing around with my frigates and whatnot now. I didn't even realize there was different designs and stuff for it, so I'm changing up the designs and the themes. There's rolls. It's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I like design B. I'm going with that. That looks cool. Edit. Yeah.
So I've got laser cannons, I've got neutron blasters, and some missiles.
So what I did on mine, I went with point defense lasers, right? So I selected that mod, which makes it a weaker weapon, but makes it 360 for the purpose of shooting down enemy missiles. And then I gave myself 4 nuclear missile launchers on the frigate, and then on the destroyer, I went with 1 neutron beam, front-facing only, 8 nuclear missile launchers, and 13 laser cannon point defense. Oh, but I have no bombs. Damn it. Okay, hold on. I gotta change that. At least one of these. Yeah, at least one of these has got to carry bombs. A lot of times what I do... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Especially since we're playing without tactical combat. I'm actually going to build just pirates. A ship. We don't.
Do we really need bombs?
If you want to soften up the enemy, yes. But I'm going to leave them off for now. If I decide I need a bomber, I'm going to make a ship that's just carrying bombs.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think that taking the bombs off is actually a good idea because it's going to give us that early jump we need in firepower to keep the enemy off our back, because as soon as they whiff any weakness from us, that's it. They're going to be on us like...
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to crank up my ship production, because one of the quickest ways for us to invite them to attack us is to not have our command points filled. Like right now I'm only 6 of 15. That's a problem. Like they're especially on really high difficulty and we're on impossible, they will come for us. Oh, speaking of pirates, I was talking to Spud, the developer, who's been super responsive to our questions and requests and whatnot. We had talked about how we're not playing with pirates, and that the reason we decided not to is that in our practice run, they were showing up even in the mid game. So I guess he checked some settings, and he normally doesn't play with pirates. But he said that by default, they stay around till like turn 350, and he altered that to be much lower. So I guess in the next version of the mod 2.2.2, the pirates will change. So we might want to check that out the next time just to see what it is.
Yeah, that's definitely something we'll have to jump in and take a look at. Whoa.
Where's that wormhole pop out? Oh, right down there, huh?
All right.
Not wild about that wormhole being in my backyard.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of weird.
I mean, I guess good in a way.
I mean, we're definitely gonna make it work.
You know, I guess for moving ships down there when we go to war, it'll be somewhat helpful, but I think I've said this before, that swings both ways. Makes me nervous, man. It makes me nervous.
Exactly. I mean, I don't blame you. Oh boy. Okay.
Ancient ruins discovered. All right.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be something crazy like enemy builds first capital ship.
Yeah, no. It's like, please no. I do have...
10's a lot. I got a leader, but 10. He wants 10 for salary. That's a lot.
That is a lot. What's he offering, though? Game.
He's offering 10% production bonus, 10% morale, and 10% spy experience rate.
He's offering 10% morale?
Yep.
That's yeah. And production? I would definitely pay for that.
Really? You think it's worth it?
Oh,
10?
Yeah, absolutely. He'll pay for himself. And remember, he'll also gain experience, so he'll get better over time.
Okay, I'll assign him then to my home planet. Maybe.
I mean, that is a lot for a leader, but... I mean, is that for maintenance or the initial price?
That's for maintenance.
Whew. Yeah, that's pricey.
Let me throw him on a planet, see how he does. If it ends up not being too great, I'll figure something else out. Let me see how he does to a planet, though. I'll come back and check on him once he's assigned. Because if it's not worth it, I can always dump him, right?
You can. Yeah, you just go to leaders and dismiss him.
So I'll eat the cost of having him, the original cost of purchasing him, which is 30 credits, but...
Yeah, see, the leader I have, he gives plus 10 food, but he only costs 3 salary, so yeah, 10 is a lot. But he's also, plus 10 protection, plus 10 morale is pretty significant.
Yeah, 10%. Yeah, 10% production, 10% morale.
Whoa, geez. The League now controls 5 planets.
What?
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they've already got 5. That's what I'm saying. We gotta
step it up, is what we gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah. We gotta step it up, and we gotta go to war with one of these guys. Probably by turn 100. We gotta go to war with one of these guys and reduce them to ash, because if we don't, they'll run out. They're gonna run away from us.
Yeah, they need to be... Oh, boy. I really would love to see one of them fight. I'd like to see them fight each other.
I would, too. The problem is that in terms of the positioning, they're far enough away from each other not to have any border friction.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem.
Well, they're only going to have border friction with us, then.
So what we need to do is, once we get Xeno relations, we need to try to make really nice with one of them. And then, like we talked about before, group up and beat up the other.
Well, you know them best. Which one do you think is more likely to want to get buddy-buddy with us?
Probably the Nolam, because they're trader-based. Like, their whole thing is built around intergalactic trade. Yeah, so we might be able to... If my forward settling over here doesn't piss them off too much, we might be able to be buddy-buddy with them and then focus on the squid guys, the Trilarians.
Okay, I think that's going to have to be the plan then.
That's something else, too. I was reading about the mod. I guess in the next version, Spud's planning to make even more AI changes, and like in Master of Orion II, which was kind of cool. Remember how certain races, it didn't really matter, like they just hated this other race? Like there was a racial bias, they just didn't like a particular empire?
Yes.
So I guess he's going to go in and add that there's going to be more of a bias depending on, the humans and the Martian or what have you might just by default pretty much hate each other, that kind of thing, which I thought was kind of cool.
That's kind of neat. Yeah, I'm surprised that's not actually a thing, to be honest with you.
Well, like we talked about, there was unfortunately a lot of things that the devs just... I don't think it's... I really, the more I think about it, I don't think it's that the devs didn't want to do that stuff. The clock ran out, is my impression. Like, it didn't do as well financially, I guess, as Wargaming wanted it to do. And I think the clock just ran out on NGD, the studio that was, working on Mu, to do anything else with it. Yeah,
are they doing anything now, or...?
I don't know is the answer. The one person that I used to talk to that was on the development team for Master of Orion is no longer there. So I don't know is the answer. I mean, I guess we can hope that they're going to continue to do stuff with it. The last patch was back in December of 2016. And we haven't really heard hide nor hair from NGD or Wargaming about anything Futurescape for Master of Orion. There was an announcement that the guy that was in charge of that section got moved over to the mobile platform side of Wargaming. Now, what that, Master of Orion didn't do that well, then that guy gets moved. I don't know. But I do know there doesn't seem to be anything coming down the pipe, which means the Master of Orion's in the hands of the modders.
Yeah, like most games nowadays, it seems.
Yeah.
Most not, I guess, AAA games. Although, would you call Master of Orion a AAA game? I guess it kind of is to an extent.
I think it was a AAA... I think it aspired to be a AAA title. I don't think it got a AAA budget. And I think a lot of the budget got spent on things that, while are nice, don't get me wrong. I think the game looks really, it's a really pretty game, right? The the art direction and the styling, I think it's a very visually it's a good looking game. And they spent a ton of money, I would imagine, on voice acting, because the voice acting cast for this game was phenomenal.
Yep.
But I think, as much as I like, Mark Hamill, I think he's amazing, I would have preferred that they had spent more money on the gameplay elements of the game versus having, star voice actors.
I would agree with that. Yep, I think that makes sense. They did have some pretty nice voice actors come in, though.
Oh, yeah. I've actually got a list of the voice actors in the description of every video. The voice cast for this game is amazing. There's no doubt about it. It's just, again, I think that, I think the money could have been, if the budget was going to end up being limited, right, which all budgets ultimately are, then I just don't know that I would have allocated it that way.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That's understandable.
Like, I would have liked to have seen tactical combat in multiplayer.
I think I finally ran into the... Yep.
The Nolums?
Yep. Rich cow people. Great.
I played as them, actually, in the last series that I did. They're actually pretty fun to play as, because you want to talk about not having money problems. You make a couple deals with the other empires, and even though they're kind of sluggish on production versus some of the other empires, it really didn't matter, because you just, be like, oh, I need a new cruiser. I'll just buy one. Boop. And it was like no big deal.
Yeah, really, just purchasing whatever you want, pretty much.
Just purchasing whatever, yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, that's not bad at all. I'm trying to get, more military ships pumped out now.
I'm at 10 of 20 on my...
Which seems to be helping, actually.
We got a lot of scouts, by the way, right now. The Trilarians, they are scouting the hell out of me.
Are they? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Want to see what you've got.
Then again, I just went to their home system and I'm scouting them, so I guess it's only fair.
All right. I'm going to start getting some You got any military stations set up yet?
I have... let me see. I don't think I have any military outposts set up yet. I have star bases, though. So, all of my colonies already have a star base.
Okay, I haven't built any star bases yet, but I need to. But I am working on my military, getting my ships built, and I'm going to be working on getting some military stations up at these borders.
I'm going to get
right next to the what are they? The Trillian?
Trilarians, yeah.
Trilarians, okay. Yeah, I'm getting some ships set up right outside their border.
So I am, let's see, 384. Nah, I don't want to spend that much. I'm actually building a space factory right now, my first one. And I just wanted to get, because unless they bring a really big fleet, a starbase, especially in this mod, can actually hold its own. So I just wanted to make sure that these colonies had that defense. Plus I wanted the command points before I started cranking out military outposts.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I need to work on getting the... Oh wait, hold on. Do I have it? Do I have that tech already?
What?
No. We need the Xeno relations, right?
For what?
Diplomacy.
Yeah, we can't do diplomacy till we get that, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was saying we need to wrap up whatever we're currently researching, and we need to go back to get, You're working on government right now, right?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
How many turns?
2.
Okay. So as soon as you're done with that, let me know how long it's going to take you to get Xeno relations, and then I'll switch so that we both get it at the same time.
Okay, that sounds good.
Oh, he's offering me an embassy. Which I guess I'll accept and take his embassy.
The Nolam?
Yeah, I can't get an embassy yet, but I'll do this just to improve our relationship.
Yeah, we said that we were going to work on that, right?
Yeah, I
I
think we try to befriend them and just keep and even with the Trilarians, just don't do a non-aggression pact, but we could once we could try to just do trade agreements with them until we're ready to go to war and then pounce on their face.
I'm good with that. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, I'm actually getting pollution. Okay.
I'm managing to keep my pollution down so far. I did have to take some pollution to get a ship built really quickly, a colony ship, but now
I don't have any pollution tech.
Cutting back on it. And I've got one more turn till government. There we go, government.
Okay, and how long for Xeno Relations for you?
Xeno Relations is going to take, it says 28 turns. That won't take that. It won't take that long because I'm gonna.
You gonna put some people on research?
Yeah. Yep. So now 21 turns, and I'll put more people on research. Once I'm still moving people around here and there.
Okay.
My population's a little low. I'm making do with. I'm making a lot with a little.
Okay, what I'll do then is I'll finish biotech, which is going to take me 4 turns. Then I'll switch to Xeno Relations, which is going to take me 12.
Yeah, that's fine. And then by then I'll have more science-y things going on anyways.
That's the other reason why I don't have any military outposts, is because I anywhere I could throw down a research lab, I did. Because my guys have a penalty to research by pop, so I was like, well, I'm going to have to get there through buildings, so I just started slamming research labs right away.
Yeah, okay. I actually went ahead and just started throwing up a military outpost right outside the... What system is that? Favia? Or Favia?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see you building it, yeah.
Yep. Because I've got Opus.
So you took Opus, okay.
Yeah,
it's a crappy planet, but I agree with your decision that based on strategically, that's a smart play. Like, you take that, and then you take Wilder, and you can just lock that guy behind a wall.
Yep, and that's the plan. I don't want to... I wanted to take that so I could get military outposts built there, and because then that allows me to guard just Opus, instead of having to guard Sabouts and Rahab.
Right. And you could just stack a fleet on top of that military outpost when you're done, and he shouldn't be able to get through it.
Exactly. Actually, I'll still have to guard Rahab from the wormhole side, but at least I won't have to guard it from the Opus side too.
Right, but then the only person that's coming through that wormhole, in theory, unless he takes the long way down there, which I guess he could. I don't see that thing's so far away from them. It's not optimal in terms of travel. I don't know if they'll use it or not.
It's hard to say. I don't think that they really will.
I mean, they certainly have the option. I'm just thinking I don't think they will either. But I'm going to fortify my warp point leading to that wormhole. I can tell you that. In Inganok or whatever, I'm going to put a military outpost facing that wormhole for sure.
This planet's definitely not a good production planet, but I do get 10 credits for owning it, and that makes a difference.
Oh, gyms provide 10 credits now?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, so I'll go ahead and take it for that reason.
And you buy a couple of, later on when we've got the bigger production buildings, like neutron colliders and robo factories and things like that. Yeah, you can kind of make it where it doesn't suck, so it's not that big a deal. It's just the starting part that's hard, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Getting it off the ground is the pain.
That's what it is. But I'm starting to get everything kind of rolling, so I'm feeling pretty good. Military's in a good spot, too. I mean, we're looking pretty good right now. The Nolem, though.
Okay.
Oh my god, the Nolem. Need to hurry up and get Xeno relations.
Yeah, before we have a problem. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, we want to keep all these episodes about the same length of time, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. Again, the plan is to release these every day at noon Eastern U.S. time. So hopefully you continue to join us for this. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, he is Sabouts, I'm Mal, and we'll see you later.